Welcome back to the PokerStars.net Caribbean Adventure. Heads up in the 25K high roller. Back from the abbreviated dinner break. Vladimir Troinovsky with a 20 big blind stack. Vanessa Selps with the monster chip lead. Hello, if you've just joined us, I'm James Hartigan, rejoined by Ike Haxton from Team Online, and joined for the first time this evening by Mickey Peterson from Team Online, himself an EPT champion. Great to have both you guys here.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
So Vanessa once again has Vladimir on the ropes. Obviously she's doubled him up once, he then built up his stack. He's now down to 20 bigs, 12% of the chips in play. Can she now close? That's the question.
Should be interesting to see.
And the rail currently consists of Kevin McPhee and Vanessa's fiancée, Miranda. I'm sure some more of those guys will make their way back there when they know that cards are in the air once again. The blind's now 30 and 60,000 with a 10K ante. And the first hand back from the break sees Troinovsky fold, giving Vanessa a walk. And the next hand will be hand 104 of the final table. We'll still work our way through some of your tweets and emails. Tag your tweets, PCALive. Email nuts@pokerstars.tv. Had a tweet from your girlfriend, Mickey.
Already? Oh, all right.
Final night in the Bahamas. Mickey's about to do commentary with Ike Poker. This is going to be sexy.
Well, she told me she was I was gonna have to name drop her in some way, so I guess we got that out of the way early.
Got it taken care of.
So as Vanessa raises and takes it, let's have a recap of the action so far today. We obviously began with 8 players, as we always do at a final table on the tour. Michael Raskin, first man out, fell to the sword of Ola Shemian, who also took out Tobias Reinkemeyer. Then Bryn Kenny was next to go. He had the 8s. Shemian had the jacks. Shemian became the chip leader, but lost most of those chips to Vanessa Selps. And then she took out Sean Deeb, the hand we were watching just before the break ended. And then Shemian himself was eliminated. 5s into queens. And Mike Watson made a huge bluff on the river, but Vanessa Selps had rivered the second nut flush. He was our 3rd place finisher, and that's how we got heads up. And you may remember, Ike, that Mr. Troinovsky occasionally has problems with the whole card camera. So we're going to sweat with Vanessa Selps. We know she has Queen 9, and we know that she is defended.
That's a nice flop.
Yeah, this shallow flopping a queen high flush draw on a paired board is pretty huge hand. I think I'd expect her to just check raise and stack it off most of the time.
Do you think she's gonna like check raise small, or do you think she's more likely to just check shove here?
It's hard to say. I haven't seen her play this exact sort of spot much. I think the two plays are close to equivalent. I don't think I'd expect her to raise fold this board a lot, even if she did take small sizing.
Just gets better for Vanessa. I told you that rail would grow. Well, they're going check on the flop. Vanessa now leads for 130,000. Troinovsky, who had Jack 7 off, will fold. Well, where do we stand now? 9.2 million plays 1 million. And a reminder that once we have concluded things here in the Bahamas, the tour moves back to Europe, where it belongs. The European Poker Tour will be going to Deauville, and from February the 3rd you can watch live coverage of every single day of the main event, from day 1A through to the final table. Are you headed to Deauville, Mickey?
I'm not sure yet. I might end up skipping that one, but I think I'll be of the rest of them at least.
2-time title. Someone's going to do it. Question is who and when.
Is bound to happen.
The Raiders makes it 120,000.
Raise and a fold.
Vanessa.
How limited are Troianovski's options at the moment, considering his stack size?
I think not at all. I think that people actually tend to underestimate that, and that really, down to very short stack sizes, it's just fine to call out of the big blind and play some pots. It's fine to limp or min-raise from the button. I think that people overestimate the stack size at which it becomes an all-in or fold game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But with that being said, he does need to pick up the aggression. I think Vanessa's like free for free in hand since we came back, and he chose not to
Yeah,
continue ace in bet with the jack 7. Like,
I think that was pretty weak. I think that with 2 overs to the 6, you should be betting,
Yeah,
unless you have a hand you can check back and then call down with, like ace or king high.
All in? Call. All in. Black call.
Well, this could be it. Vanessa responds to the button raise with an all-in, and Troianovski calls
with just a king.
ace king, not just any king.
A little better.
Vanessa Selps finds herself dominated.
This is almost 20% of the chips in play here, so Troianovski's getting back into things if he manages to hold here.
Pop is
It's a good
straight
flop for him.
7 of diamonds, tray of diamonds.
Diamond.
7 of diamonds.
5
7
for
of
a
diamonds
win,
on the board.
Running straight cards
5 of diamonds.
for a win. 7 for a chop.
Vanessa has chop outs. Of course, a 5 would give her the win.
And card is a king.
Instead, it's a
of hearts.
king
That'll
on
do
the
it.
turn. And that will see Vladimir Troianovski double up through Vanessa Selps once again and get his stack up to nearly 2 million. Mickey, this heads-up battle has reminded me slightly of a heads-up battle that happened in Copenhagen in February of last year, where you kept getting Pierre Neuville on the ropes and then you let him double up again and again and again, and 6 hours later we were still going.
That's true, yeah, that took a long time. How long has this been going on?
Actually not that long, about a couple of levels of heads-up play so far.
And not too bad, I guess. But yeah, hopefully it won't be that long, because I have a flight to catch.
You're headed out this evening?
No, I'm going in the morning.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to get some sleep first, too.
Fair enough.
Mr. Stapleton, who is once again resting his vocal cords, says, Mickey's girlfriend tweeted at me too. Yes, in that way. And when I say that way, I mean I direct messaged her and she wrote back, you gross. I can totally understand why you've spent the week not introducing her to him.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Raise 120. Raises makes it 120,000.
Queen deuce. Vanessa raising. Troianovski cutting out the 3-bet.
Yeah, he's got about 30 big blinds now, so definitely room to make some non-all-in 3-bets.
300,000.
All in.
All in. That's the move.
Raises to 300,000. Vanessa shoves with her queen deuce.
All right.
That's a strong play.
She did it quickly, too. She didn't even have to think about that.
Yeah, you'd think she would have picked up on something. Just
She has to have a physical read to do that.
yeah,
I mean,
there's no way.
he's been... I've only been here for a few hands, but he's been playing pretty tight since I've gotten here. Has he been doing a lot of bluff 3-betting in the last hour or so? I've missed some of it.
Not during the heads-up battle. Certainly when the table was fuller, he did have a tendency to 3-bet pretty light.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw was I saw him 3-5-bet ace-7 suited against her.
Yeah.
Well, he must be Hollywooding at this.
Oh, wow, really?
Guess not.
Vanessa will win the spot.
Folds the ace-7.
Wow. That was very surprising for me, for like both players, what they were doing there.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
So here we go.
I don't think I would ever do that from either side. I mean, the,
Yeah.
the 3-bet with ace-7 is a little weird, but if you're going to do it, it has to be with the intention of calling the
You'd
shove.
think he'd be snapping it off very happily then. But
So after 50 hand of heads-up play, you can see Trojanovski has the higher pre-flop raise percentage. Vanessa has been limping her button a lot of the time. And you can see there, he 3-bets 18% of the time. Vanessa, obviously, with the higher 3-bet percentage.
You have to have some sort of physical read to jam queen 2 against a who's 3-betting 18%. That's a pretty low number.
Thank you, Rob, on Twitter for reminding me that the first rule of heads-up battles at EPT Copenhagen is you do not talk about heads-up battles at EPT Copenhagen. Michael says, please say hello to Mickey Peterson. I'm one of his bigger fans. And another tweet for Mickey. This one comes in from Bjorn. Mickey, what shirt are you wearing right now?
well, I'm wearing a low-cut shirt with a grizzly bear on it. It's my last day in Bahamas, so before going back to London, so I figured it was the last chance to flaunt it.
He also asks, how much are you secretly anti-sweating Vanessa? I understand you felt her sword as well yesterday.
Yeah, I got 13th in this event yesterday and ran into Cooler against Vanessa, but she's a good friend of mine, so I'm definitely rooting for her.
Call.
Call. Call.
Vanessa again limps the button. Queen 9.
Yeah, even though she might not have the highest raising the button percentage here, I assume she's the one playing the most of her buttons, right? She's probably been playing close to 100%, I would guess.
I'd be surprised if she's open folding much.
Yeah, I doubt that.
145,000, and that's a call.
Trojanovski raises, Vanessa calls. Let's see a flop.
Really small raise.
How big was it?
145.
Oh yeah, that is very small.
Up is 10 of diamonds, king of spades.
Gut shot for Vanessa. We know Trojanovski has at least top pair.
Yeah, I'd expect a raise to 3 times the big blind, or maybe even a little more with these stack sizes.
Yeah, I just don't think Vanessa limps the button that making it that small is ever gonna make her go away.
Right. Yeah, my guess would be that she is limping mostly middle strength sort of hands that she's always going to call a raise with, and
Yeah.
raising more polarized.
No way she's folding this flop either.
No, of course not.
What? I'm really bad at this.
I think I am 0 for the final table guessing what Vanessa is going to do.
Well, whatever she's doing, it's working pretty well.
It certainly
I guess.
is.
Maybe she's adopted the mantra, don't do what they expect you to do. And that's what they're playing for. Big difference in prize money. 792 for the runner-up, 1.4 million for the winner. No deal has been talked about, as you'd expect with these guys. Ryan asks on Twitter, is this stream live? What are the rail strategy implications? Just a reminder, in case you're unaware of how we do things with these hole cards up streams, we delay the picture by between 40 and 50 minutes. This is actually on a 50-minute delay, but we are commentating live over that delayed picture, enabling you to ask us questions on Twitter and email. So yes, once the stream has reached the outside world, there is every possibility that these guys are going to have buddies telling them information, but there's no reason why Trojanovski can't do that with his friends and Vanessa can't do that with her friends. It's a level
Exactly.
playing field.
I would assume both sides are doing exactly that.
And as you said, Ike, it changes the dynamic of the final table, but as long as it's a level playing field, that's all that really matters.
Right.
Raise to 120. 120,000. Call. Call.
Vanessa raises her button, Trojanovski calls. You know the Vanessa has king tray. Trojanovski, we're not so sure. Vanessa has top pair.
King of spades, 9 of clubs. Check.
Check.
I would typically bet any king here. I don't think it's crazy to check back the worst ones, especially if Trojanovski's been very likely to bet the turn when she does check back. think this can go either way, but typically I'd just bet.
Vanessa bets 140,000 on fold. Vanessa will win the spot.
Trojanowski folds the fours. Alex
Yeah, pocket
asks-
fours there?
Yeah, he had pocket fours.
That's interesting.
And see that come up on the screen. I think if I were him, I'd just rip it pre.
Conservative has been his approach towards this entire final table. Heads up battle not excluded. Alex asked on Twitter how many runners the PCA High Roller got and how many players cashed. Top 24 got paid, Mickey?
24 got paid, yeah. I believe it, including re-entries, it got 202.
Yeah, I think it says here
yeah,
204,
204, yeah.
44 of which were re-entries, so 160 individuals and 44 of them re-entered.
Much bigger field than last year.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was, what, 147 or so last year?
Call. Call.
Including re-entries.
Ace Queen 4 with 2 diamonds.
Check. Checks. 125. 125,000.
What's she doing? She's folding.
Yeah, I could see either of the free options happening there with Vanessa, but
Yeah, I don't think it would be totally unreasonable to call a raise there. Raising is awkward just because you represent so few hands. It's like maybe ace 4 and queen 4.
Nighttime at Atlantis. Most people's final night at the PCA. I take it you fly out tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah, I'm headed out tomorrow afternoon.
And we'll all be back next year to do it all again.
Definitely. This has been my 7th straight year here.
What about for you, Mickey?
this is my 3rd year here. Can't quite compete with that straight.
6th for me. You beat me by a year, right?
We'll get a walk.
Vanessa just folded her button.
It would appear so.
She did indeed. Eric Froelich asks a fair question on Twitter. He says, not sure how it's fair to show Vanessa's hole cards to the camera, but let Trojanowski consistently keep them concealed. I don't think he is doing it deliberately. I do think the way he looks at his hole cards makes it very difficult for the camera to see them. That said, it would be nice if someone could just have a word and explain to him that he needs to look at them differently so we do get that information.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a tricky situation. There is some opportunity for players to angle there and try to conceal a little bit of info here and there.
Yeah, is it like cards with chips in them, or is it
No,
like
no,
actually
no,
a whole camera? That's
Yeah,
taking-
it's a whole camera.
Oh, okay,
You
I
can
see.
see it right there on the rail.
Yeah.
Call.
Now, obviously, we are getting them after the hand for the purposes of making the TV show, but for the live stream, we occasionally miss them. And there is a kind of etiquette where we don't try and force players to continuously look at their cards whilst they're actually engaged in a part.
Right, it's a tough balance.
But he's not making a stand. Don't worry, this is not one of those I'm not showing my whole cards situations.
I
Right.
kind of like it when you can only see one whole card. So it makes the hand more interesting.
So what do you reckon his other card is?
Hard to say at this point.
What would be the most interesting card for him to have?
Let's see the river first.
Here's Jack 10.
Check. Check. Black shows Jack high. Shows king high.
Jack deuce.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not betting that flop. He seems to not be continuation
Check.
betting very much.
Yeah, not at all, it seems.
He likes to check back
Wasn't
to
folding.
Jack high.
question that Eugene Kachalov was asked when he was with us, and I'll ask the same question to you guys. Given what appears to be
never fold.
a skill mismatch heads up, what do Ike and Mickey think Troianovski's best strategy would be?
Not in that hand. I might check raise.
You're worried you're overmatched heads up. I think
on
the
top.
right thing to do is
All of
play
them.
as aggressively as possible, for sure.
All of
Take
them,
big
probably.
bet sizing, threaten foot stacks, and play every hand.
Yeah, I agree with that. Certainly, we have only seen I've only seen like 10 hands or so, but free bet folding like ace-7 against Vanessa is not a good place to start.
That's a big mistake, I
And
think.
just continuation betting more in general, I think, would benefit him.
Playing more aggressively from the big blind as well, probably.
Yeah.
Vanessa with deuces, Troianovski with a 9.
Ace of spades, 6, love, 7 spades. Check. Checks. $110,000. Both Vanessa go in this spot.
Bet and a fold. Ed kind of agrees with you, Mickey. He says on Twitter, it isn't intentional, but being able to sweat the heads-up match from the point of view of just one player is kind of interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're actually playing, you only get to see one side's whole cards, that's for sure.
Well, we always have that argument everywhere we go. Would you prefer it with or without whole cards? And we're kind of like keeping both camps happy right now. So we'll give you one player's whole cards.
That's a good compromise.
Krishnan tweeted earlier to say, looking forward to the 6-day live stream in Deauville. We'll watch every minute of that. Don't think the girlfriend will be too happy. It's actually 7 days, because remember, there's day 1A, day 1B, and then days 2 through 6.
It's a busy week he's got ahead of him.
That's why I'm asking Mickey if he's going to be there, because we need guest commentators.
Oh, you're going to live stream every single day?
Every single day.
Oh, that's interesting. Well,
Can I do it remotely? Can I just do it over Skype?
Not sure that's going to work. Have to get you to come to more legs of the tour, Ike.
Vanessa with a monster here.
Yep. Is it just me, or was she, like, theatrically methodical about putting that raise
It
into
seemed
the
that
pot?
way, but it's easier to say when you see the cards.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's impossible to just put the chips in exactly the same time every time. And when we see the 10s, it's easy to look for something.
I'm going to take a guess that he's Russian.
I actually met him earlier this week, and I can confirm that he's Russian. Good read.
Amazing, isn't it? The combination of that hooded top and the iPad cover.
I like the Russians. They always bring a certain fashion sense to the EPTs that you don't really get to see from other countries.
Question for Ike on Twitter from Charlie. He says, I don't understand Vanessa open folding any hands on the button here. Explain. I mean, surely there's some of her range which she is going to be folding, right?
Well, not necessarily. I don't think it's particularly difficult for the big blind to play in such a way that the button can profitably play any two. And Troianovski has been seeming to play very tight and passive. I think that very likely, if next hand she got dealt 2-3 off on the button and raised it, that would be more profitable than folding. The consideration is that if it becomes clear that you're playing every hand, maybe he starts playing more aggressively and you want to avoid that. Or maybe she doesn't agree with my assessment that she can profitably play 2-3 off here.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's probably more sort of the illusion of not opening every hand than like actually that she doesn't want to open every hand.
Yeah, it's a small sacrifice to fold that bottom 5%.
If she can somehow convince him that, you know, she's getting dealt better cards than she is.
Right.
But it's interesting to see here Troianovski open folding some buttons and then opening like jack free off here. Wouldn't you agree with that, Ike? Like, it's just a weird way he built his range if he's opening that but folding what seems like a lot of other buttons.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bottom 5 or even 10% hand. I don't think. It's more like maybe 15th percentile. So it's not inconsistent to be folding, you know, 9-3 off and playing Jack-3 off, but
Right.
it's a pretty bad hand. I wouldn't be surprised if he's folding some hands I think are better.
Eugene Kachalov has now gone to rail the action. He was commentating with us earlier on. We asked him afterwards, Eugene, do tell us what was in that box that we saw you carrying to the stage. And his honest answer was, I don't remember.
I'm just going to guess it's protein powder.
I wouldn't bet against you on that one. So Troyanovsky, now he pairs his jack, bets 320,000 on the turn.
Wait, oh, he bet the flop and now he's betting the turn as well? Sorry, I missed out on the action.
Yeah, he bet 125,000 on the flop. Vanessa check called. And now he's actually got a legitimate hand. He bets again. Vanessa now folds.
That is quite a thin value bet on the turn there.
You don't think it was a bluff?
Miguel on Twitter once again asking
think
us
so.
asking for us to have a camera in the booth so we can show our guests. There's two reasons. Number one, trust me, it's not worth seeing. And I don't mean you guys, I just mean the general setup here. But also, one of the things you have to remember that these live streams are often multilingual affairs. So while we're providing English language commentary, the guys next door are doing the commentary in Russian. And anyone watching the Russian stream would be mildly confused if they then suddenly had video images of people speaking a different language and not actually hearing those people. Plus, bearing in mind this entire video feed is being directed 50 minutes before we're speaking, the logistics are just blatantly impossible.
Vanessa raises, makes it 120,000.
But I appreciate the fact you'd like to see our happy, smiling faces. That was raise and take it for Vanessa. We've now seen 120 hands at this final table. Roughly 60 to 65 hands of heads-up play. Vanessa chipping away at Troyanovsky's stack. Remember, he's doubled up twice now. Hovering around the 1.7 mark at the moment, around 20 big blinds.
Closer to 30.
Raise to 1 1/4.
Raises, makes it 125.
Oh yeah, of course, we're still 30-60, not 48.
Yeah.
A lot of our European viewers are getting a little bit tired now. It's 1:15 in the morning in London, 2:15 in the morning across most of Central Europe. A lot of people have got to go to work tomorrow.
Raise to 120.
For those of you who are going to watch this to the bitter end, we salute you.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to having to wake up in time to be out of my hotel room by noon tomorrow.
I think you'll find checkout is 11 a.m. Or did you get the late checkout?
No, I was just going to be an hour late and hope nothing bad happened.
Good strategy.
I think I may look into that this evening when I get back to my room.
No hotel should ever have a checkout time earlier than noon.
Yeah, that consistently tricks me. I just refuse to accept that the checkout time is earlier than noon. I show up at noon without looking into it, and maybe that'll teach them.
Welcome to this week's edition of First World Problems on PCA Live.
125,000.
Troyanovsky raises his button. He has A7 again. Remember, this is the hand he actually folded. Vanessa shoved on him.
Be interesting to see what Vanessa does with King 10 here. It's an awkward stack size because it's a strong enough hand you really want to 3-bet, but you really don't want to 3-bet and face a shove.
I think she's just going to be calling here, right?
Probably.
You're so sad
Yeah.
when you're free bet folding that hand.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it. And I guess against him, you can't 3-bet call it.
7, 8, 9, a pair for Troyanovsky. A straight draw for Vanessa.
interesting lead here.
Yeah.
I'm curious how she would react if Trojanowski raced here. I guess that's probably not going to happen, but
From everything I've seen so far at this final table, I have to assume she'd stick it in.
you'd think so, but it seems like Trojanowski is not sticking it in too late.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she could bet call, especially if the sizing's fairly small.
Forward pairs on the turn.
Turn card, 9 of hearts.
I knew we'd have some people still with us. Chris Gagan says the live coverage is bad for my sleep.
Check.
Vanessa slows down now. She checks.
Wonder what she does faced with a bet here. Check folding, this seems awfully weak. I kind of expect her to bet again, just 'cause checking and facing a bet here is so gross.
Checks.
Oh, we won't find out.
Overcard, 9 of spades.
I mean, you'd assume she was call most sizing on the turns, right? Just to
I mean, if it's
keep in where's 10s and 6s? I don't know.
if it's much more than half pot, I don't know how well that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Unless she thinks she actually has a pretty good shot at just getting to showdown, and winning with king high.
Check.
Checks.
So Vanessa checks the river.
Assume Trojanowski is going to bet here.
Check. Showdown, please.
No, he checks behind.
King.
Shows king eye.
Shows us 9's full.
I'm alright with the check there from Trojanowski. I don't know what I'd expect Vanessa to call with, really. She like betting ace-5 and then checking it twice to pay off the river.
137 big blinds, plays 33 big blinds. A question from Maureen. If Vanessa Selps wins this, will she be the first woman to win a high roller? I want to say...
Pretty sure yes.
I want to say no. I want to say that the other Vanessa Russo, may have won the high roller in Monaco one year.
Really?
It's a non-televised event. I want to say 2009, which would have been season 5.
That could easily be right.
I think she got second, but I'm not sure on that. You could be right.
If she did get second, then yes, Vanessa Selpst would be the first woman to win a high roller. We'll get our research team on it.
I'm just surprised Vanessa hasn't already won one. I kind of assumed that. She's won so many things that I just lost track at this point.
She prefers to stick to the like 1,000-player fields.
Face.
Not that she doesn't play a bunch of these high roller things, just she picks good events to win.
20,000. Call.
Trojanowski will defend.
10 of diamonds, 9 of diamonds.
Oh, that's interesting.
Checks.
So Vanessa flops top 2. Trojanowski has the queen of diamonds.
That's pretty strong all by itself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this is a good sweat for the other card for sure.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
By the way, confirmation, Vanessa Russo did win that high roller in 2009. I rule.
Tray of diamonds.
And so did Vanessa's in high rollers, clearly.
Yeah. Did Vanessa just check back the
Yeah,
flop?
she just checked back the flop. I was a bit surprised by that too.
That seems unnecessarily fancy. Half the deck is terrible news, and your hand is huge on the flop. Just bet.
And now Trojanowski leads 125,000. We don't know the suit, but we do know that Trojanowski's other card is a black 5.
I assume Vanessa's going to race here, surely, right?
Yeah.
So
I
we
mean,
know
there's no way she can just call here.
No, I don't think that would be any good.
So we know that Trojanowski is on the draw. He has the diamond draw and the up and down straight draw.
Yeah, here comes the raise.
The raise makes it a total of 410,000.
She raises to 410. Trojanovski with such a huge draw.
If I were him, I'd be pretty tempted to just ship it.
A reminder, his kicker is a black 5. We don't know the suit.
He does risk over double pot to do it, though, so maybe he just calls.
He doesn't look too happy about his hand. I
No,
don't know
he
if it's
really
acting
doesn't.
or not. I played a little bit with him yesterday, but not too much. But he doesn't seem to hide his emotion too much.
No.
Clearly pretty annoyed with this race, it seems like. Yeah, and for good reason.
Yeah, it's a pretty awful spot to be in for him. He's going to show the Queen of Diamonds and fold. That seems like a questionable choice. I mean, even if you're going to fold there, don't just show her that you're
What
making
else?
folds like that.
I love the way you use the word questionable in euphemistic fashion.
Is it 10 to go with it? 9? Queen 9?
Oh, small cup.
She's asking if he had Queen 10. Was it the King of Diamonds? Was that the other one?
Dane has a question for both you guys. Remember, we've got Ike Haxon and Mickey Peterson from Team Online in the booth. Which EPT main event do you guys think has the most value? In terms of cash or prestige? Doesn't specify.
I'm guessing he means best ROI for the top players.
Yeah, I'd have to say from my experience, it would either be San Remo or Deville.
Sanremo was the one I was going to say, but I've never made it out to Deville.
Yeah, just they get a lot of local players there, and it's a big event. Overall, I think people overestimate how big the difference is in the fields. Like, I think they're all like kind of equal, but definitely think like San Remo and Deville are probably the best ones.
Does Sanremo tend to get a somewhat bigger field than Deville?
Yeah, San Remo is a lot bigger than
A lot bigger, yeah.
a fair bit bigger than the one in Deville, yeah. But the one in, I guess both of them have like satellites running all year round, and
Yeah.
all the locals are very excited to play and whatnot. Where here in PCA we don't see too many Bahamians coming and playing.
Not
No.
allowed to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Trojanovski raises with a king. Selps 3 bets with ace queen to 290,000. Trojanovski with the decision.
Could potentially be trouble for either of them, depending on what's going with that king.
Yep. Trojanovski, again, doesn't look real happy about it.
He looks very sad.
Feels he's getting pushed around.
It doesn't seem like Vanessa has been free betting him too much, though. I don't think that's
No, I haven't seen a lot of three
her
bet
strategy
bluffs from her.
going into this heads up, I'd imagine.
This is certainly the first 4 bet we've seen from Trojanovski and heads up. Vanessa moves all in and Trojanovski calls!
Wow.
Pocket kings.
Pocket kings for Trojanovski. Ace queen for Vanessa Selpst.
Guess I made a bad read about how Trojanovski felt about that hand.
He got us there.
Yeah.
Было понятно,
Ace?
что понять, что сила что-то
Sick
сильно
cooler,
надеялся,
obviously.
две дамы.
Yeah, it's-
Going in
For-
no matter who has what hand or
yeah,
no
30 big
matter
blinds here. Those hands are just getting stacks in,
Может, и не
for sure.
She has got an overcard. Oh, that's a good flop for the kings. Trojanovski set to double up again to 3.5 million and get back in this heads-up battle against Vanessa Selpst.
Just one more to come.
Just has to fade. An ace on the river. There are 3 in the deck. Vanessa has hit a 3-outer a few times during this tournament. If she hits one now, she's won it. And it's an ace on the river! Vanessa Selp seals the deal on hand number 125 of the final table and wins the 25K high roller here at the PokerStars.net Caribbean Adventure.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'd rather be lucky than good. Really well played, man.
I'd rather be lucky than good, says Vanessa, as she takes the title, the trophy, and that first prize of more than 1.4 million dollars rather. $792,000 is the prize that will be shipped to Vladimir Troianovski.
Just hit every river.
And there we go. There's the peace hug between Selps and McPhee, just in case you thought there was still some bad blood between them.
It was me though, actually.
Anytime.
I'm done. That's 3 hours in a river. I'm just like, Thank you. It just ran ridiculously hot this final table.
Max Silva getting
Just,
cheated
hit
out of a
every
huck
hand.
there.
It was really
Yeah,
fun.
that's
What?
unfair
it's
for
fine.
him.
I mean it. He played really well. Everybody played really well. I just ran super high.
Another
Unbeatable.
big tournament win for the tournament beast that is Vanessa Selps.
What?
$1.4 million wedding.
Yeah. Oh, wedding, yeah. And a pair of sunglasses.
There is a wedding to pay for.
Yeah, nice fold. Yeah, clubs. Your line didn't make any sense though. I think I was gonna bluff it anyway. I know, but I thought you had a flush draw anyway, so like it looked like you had a flush draw or something. Good fold. Sick.
Flush
I
draw
just hit, I hit like
and a
three-
straight draw.
Check fold.
No, yeah, right. Can't check.
Save 500.
No, I hit every hand. Like I haven't run this hot in like ever. Yeah.
Going to activate Joe Stapleton and get him down onto the floor to interview Vanessa Selps. We'll hear from
But I
our winner in just a
obviously
moment.
can't do anything.
But here's how it finished at this final table in the 25K high roller. Two Germans who've been tearing up the tournament circuit for some time.
You can't beat a PokerStars pro.
Tobias
at a PokerStars
Reinkemeyer and
tournament.
Ola Shemian went out in 7th and 4th respectively. Sean Deeb came in as chip leader but had to do with a 5th place finish after that horrible beat at the hands of Vanessa Selps. And Vladimir Troianovski also knows how it feels to suffer when a 3-outer comes on the river.
2 миллиона.
He's the runner-up and Vanessa Selps is the champion.
ГОС 4/6. Борьба.
And the general reaction on Twitter is, look, sick river, but congratulations, Vanessa. And let's not forget, there were some hands that she played tremendously well. I mean, the fact that she got players like Shemin and Watson to stack off to her when she had stone-cold nuts.
Yeah, sure.
She finally sealed the deal after a reasonably long heads-up battle. When they
Yeah,
started
it's
heads-up, looked like it could be over
just
pretty
been
quickly.
3
A few double-ups for Troianovski, and looked like he'd get a big double-up there, but it just wasn't to be.
Oh my God.
Sometimes the stars seem to align and fate sends you a message, and that message we got today is that this was Vanessa Selps' tournament to win, and win it she did. So let's head down to the tournament floor. Let's hear from our winner, Vanessa Selps. She's talking to Stapes.
Vanessa, you set a record here today. You're now the top female tournament money earner of all time. What does that mean to you?
That's awesome. I don't know. It's just really happy to win and just really happy.
And where does this win rank among all of your many other wins?
I mean, this is awesome. Any title is awesome. I've never won a high roller before, so you know, it feels great to be able to beat the best. And honestly, I don't know. I never know the right things to say right after I win because I'm always at a loss. But I don't know. I just feel really good right now.
How do you feel about the way you played today?
Honestly, I mean, I played really, really well, but it's really not that hard when you have a set or a flush or a straight like every single hand. So, you know, that's the thing. It's like I played well, but so did my opponents. I just honestly ran the hottest, and yeah, that's kind of how that went.
And how did the rivers treat you today?
Yeah, I banked a couple 3-outers, so those were pretty crucial. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
So one last question. You're gonna do something really nice for Sean Deeb, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Probably around next Christmas time or something.
Here you go, Sean Deeb. Santa's coming for you. Let's get a big round of applause for our PCA 10 high roller champion, Vanessa Selbst. Congratulations again, Vanessa.
It's a nice ace. Who dealt that?
A big win for Vanessa Selbst and a great way to end PCA 10. An awesome final table, an awesome tournament. And thank you everyone for your kind feedback on Twitter. I'm so glad you enjoyed the live streams we brought you from the Super High Roller, the main event, and the 25K High Roller. Quick reminder, live coverage of EPT Deauville kicks off Sunday the 3rd of February, PokerStars.tv and on the mobile app. It's now time for the winner's presentation.
Presentation for the final event of the PCA 10 25K High Roller. 204 entrants and 3 days of thrilling poker, and we finally have our winner. But first, I would like to congratulate our runner-up, Vladimir Troyanovsky, who walks away with $180,000. Let's give it up for Vladimir. And now to our 2013 PCA High Roller champion. She is 28 years old, lives in Toronto, Canada, and will walk away with $1,424,420. Let's give it up for Vanessa Selbst.
Congrats. Thank you.
Congratulations, Vanessa and Stapes. What an awesome PCA this has been.
Yeah, absolutely. From start to finish, from the Super High Roller to the main event to the 50-something events that we had here. Tons of action, tons of socializing, drinking, sun, tans, people losing voices, people ending marriages and careers, starting new careers, everything that could have possibly happened. Vanessa Selbst ending it in full-on beast mode, leaving a wake of destruction in her path.
Thank you to all of our co-commentators, people like Ike Haxton, Mickey Peterson. We'll see you in Deauville the 3rd of February. From me and Joe, it's good night from the Bahamas.